Welcome back to Darlene and Grit Homestead. I am Ashley.
And I'm Brian.
And we are going to plant a pumpkin patch and plant some seeds. So tag along and we will show you what we do.
Go plant some dirt.
Yes, mud pies.
Yeah.
Don't be like that guy. He don't know what he doing. Not good. Oh, here it is. It's our big rectangle of dirt. It's a 30 by 13. So we had, I planned on a 30 by 12. And then I started getting in there with the tiller and realized I was farther over than I thought. So we got 30 by 13. All right. So it is, normally we don't till. We have in the past, we've tilled the first time just to kind of break things up and do it. We like the no-till method. We use that a lot. This time we chose to till it up. In the past we've done it where we have tilled for the first time just to get things going. This ground hasn't had anything done to it, you can tell, in a long time, or if at all. This may have just been grass for a long time. There's a lot of big rocks in this area. We figured that out when we did our little orchard over here, and we had dug up some decent sized mini boulders. So because of that, we chose to do the till. If we ideally, what we usually do, we like the no-till method. And that's putting our cardboard down and our tarps and everything, but we would do that in fall, and then you'd wait almost 6 months for spring, then pick it up, and it's a lot easier to do. But we needed some rocks gone, so chose a till, made it happen. And then the next step in our process is we are going to put tarps over it, because we still got to get our little pumpkin started. And because of that, we got time. And so since we have time and I tilled this up, we got all those weed seeds, grass, everything that's there. We tarp it, it gets no moisture, it doesn't get any of the sun, and a lot of that stuff will start to sprout as much as possible and reach up. So when we remove those tarps, we can go through and just rake those little bad boys out. Super easy to keep all them weeds and dig them out and kill them. So that is our next process.
Here we are almost a week later. We had to wait for our temperatures to rise. It is a cool day today, but it's not going to stay that way. So I have all of my pumpkin seeds out on the table, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys a breakdown of which seeds we're going to be growing. Most of them are varieties that we have planted from seed and harvested. So those are the varieties that we like, and we kind of stick with them because they're our staples. And then I have some other varieties that I had purchased in the last year or two that I would also like to try. Some of them I have tried, like from a local store, local market or something like that. So I do have an idea of what they taste like. Use the ducks, but some of them I don't have any idea, and I would like to try them. Okay, so right here is the Mangago de Guatemala squash. These are delicious, and they have kind of like a fuzzy texture on the outside, just like the zucchini. The vines are very, very spiky, and they are like trailing. So if you grow these, you want to give them a lot of space. Then I just have the regular Black Beauty. Can't go wrong with that. And then these are a white variety. These are from Ukraine. I have been purchasing from this vendor for several years, even before all the conflict over there. The name of the supplier is Elena Seeds, and they're on Etsy. And she has really good seed, and she delivers it super fast, surprisingly. So I've grown those. And then Table King acorn squash, just a standard acorn. Then we have Carnival pumpkin squash. These are beautiful. They have like a textured textile puzzle kind of color on them. They're just really pretty and they're very great to photograph. I absolutely love doing that every year. And then we have box garden seeds. This is a lower salmon river. This is designed for pretty much the western sides of the state. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, this is a really great winter squash to grow, and it's absolutely delicious. If I could tell you what it tastes like, it's probably a mix between sweet meat and an acorn squash, I would say. And then we have our mashed potato. These are our mashed potato acorn squash. They are a hybrid. They are delicious. I absolutely love them since we cannot grow sweet potatoes here unless they're greenhoused. These are a great substitute. Then we have our Thelma, and these are also a white acorn squash, and they're similar to size as the mashed potato. They do not taste the same though, but they taste really good as well. They are just like our favorite, like the Table King acorn squash, but it's nice to have different colors and varieties. I just like that. And then we have our Tokyo Blues. I absolutely love these Tokyo Blues. They are so creamy. They're buttery and they're creamy and they're not really big. I would say they are about the same size as an acorn squash, but they're kind of more flat so that you could stack them a lot easier, and they can get a little bit bigger than an acorn, I would say, but pretty close in size in comparison. Then we have the butternut basoga. I really like these. These have like a bumpy skin on the outside. I grew these, I think the year before last. Woohoo! There goes a seed. Did you see that? We'll just tuck those right there. And these are absolutely delicious and they're huge. And I was really surprised growing them here in the Pacific Northwest in Washington. And I grew a behemoth of butternut squash and they were very, very prolific. Then we just have your standard sugar pumpkins. Got to grow those. And then the new varieties we have here are going to be, this is an Australian butter. They kind of have like a jar head shape. So I thought those would be interesting to try. We'll see. And then I have your basic sweet meat winter squash. Gotta have those. And then I have a Atlantic giant pumpkin. I'm going to throw these in my compost. And then I have these sunshine kabochas. We'll see. Kind of like the same like as these and the sweet meat. Kind of similar varieties. And then I have Amish pie pumpkin. I love the shape of these. They're kind of like an acorn squash too. So basically I'm growing multiple varieties that are very similar, but all kind of have different textures, different flavors, are from different regions of the world, and have different growing patterns. So they don't all trail and they don't all just grow from the ground. So it's exciting. I love growing pumpkins. You will learn this about me, especially these little tiny ones. They're perfect for meal planning for a family of 4, or you know, if you even have a big family, if you plant like a couple of these, they will hold you over, I promise.
I'd love to go jogging again.
Come on, dogs!
I miss it, huh?
I don't.
I know you don't.
I don't miss. I will never run again in my life. Yeah, right.
I've seen you try.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. You're right.
I would love to jog.
No way. So first I'm going to show you guys my planting method. I like to plant my pumpkins inside and start them indoors on a heat mat and with a growing light. And I like to use these solo cups, the bigger ones, because they grow really fast and you don't have very much time to transplant them, and they can struggle if you transplant them. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put drainage holes in this. Now, there's better ways. You could just plant them in the ground and make it easier on yourself, but you can get a healthier, more vigorous plant if you start them indoors and then bring them outside. You kind of do like a transition period and it works out fine. I've done it both ways and have not seen one that's better than the other yet. So, but we're going to drill holes in these. I got the drill, and we're just going to do that really quick. It's going to be awkward because I'm sitting down, and I'm used to standing up when I use this tool. Hello. I don't know how many I went through. Let's see. Oh, so close. Oh, so close.
Right back.
Seeds in there?
Yeah, we're gonna put dirt, and then we'll put the seeds in there, and then we'll plant the seed, and then we'll grow them inside, and then when they're ready to come outside, we'll plant them in the ground. Okay, so there you go. They don't need that many. I'm not gonna go overboard. They're not gonna stay in there for very long. So, then I can use these cups for other things. And if I need to, I can drill more holes. I got this thing. How many are we gonna plant? Too many. How many are we gonna plant? How many are we gonna plant? I don't know. Too many. $1 million. No, $1 billion, please.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our trusty tub and we've got our dirt. We're gonna water it down, and then when we're done, we'll put the dirt inside our solo cups and plant our pumpkin seeds and squash. And Miyagi here just ate a bee in front of us. It was delicious, apparently. Brian tried to take it from him, but it was too late. Sorry, little bee. Protein. All right, now we gotta mix it up. Make sure it's good. I'm the only one that brings gloves. So I get to do it. We'll probably add some little hands in here. Get in there. Make some mud pies.
Mud pie. I love mud pie.
Me too.
So much mud. Why are you putting it over here?
Because there's more moisture over there, so I want to get all the dry stuff pushed over there. All right, so this is how I do it. I just take the wet soil and then I just kind of put it in. I'm not going to pack it really tight because I don't want it to become super compacted. Squash and pumpkins specifically, they like kind of more of like a loose, fluffy type of soil. So this is really rich organic soil. So I'm not going to worry about any fertilizer or plant start with it. And that's pretty much all you do. And then you just put a hole. So like I mentioned before, you can measure the tips of your fingers or how long your hand is, and that's going to help you garden, especially when it comes to planting seeds, the specific depth that they need. And I just pretty much put a finger in there, and that's the right depth to plant a pumpkin or squash. Now, it probably would have been a great idea to write which varieties we were going to plant on the cup before we filled them with dirt, but you know, you got to do things backwards or it's not real homesteading. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to write the varieties on the cups. I kind of wiped it away. I got a paper towel earlier and I kind of wiped it away so it's nice and dry.
There we go, you guys. We got most of our pumpkins and squash are germinating so far. Ta-da! We'll go down here. We got two different lights. We'll see what these ones right here do by tomorrow. There's one right here. Little carnival. Carnival acorn squash. That's perfect. So here is our beautiful compost. It's dry right now, we gotta wet it down, but here is our pumpkin mound in our straw, and the ground underneath is uncovered, and it was amended, and we put a bunch of comfrey, chopped a bunch of comfrey and put it in the ground for extra nutrients. And then we just make the mound and I flatten it, and we're gonna use this all natural fertilizer, the BioLife. It's a starter and transplant mix. This is by Down to the Earth. These are our favorite fertilizers. And then I'm gonna add some oyster shells for calcium carbonate. That helps your roots on any of your plants grow super strong, and it just kind of keeps things going as the plant grows rapidly, and helps with blossom rot and all of those things. Calcium carbonate is a nutrient or mineral necessity for all plants pretty much. But when you get heavy feeders like pumpkins, tomatoes, eggplants, and peppers, calcium carbonate, which is just in either egg form, like your eggshells or your oyster shells, if you get the ground kind for chickens, it's usually pretty cheap, less expensive than buying a huge bag. You can just sprinkle it on the top, or you can mix it in. I sprinkle it on the top because as you water it, it's just going to slow release all of the nutrients and minerals that that plant needs. Alright, so I put the pumpkins inside our little mound right here. So I put them in deep. I like to keep it as a mound so the water stays right there. And then I'm just gonna put the cup right here. And then we know what it is.
Stand.
And we can always clean it up later if you're gonna get mad at me for having plastic in my garden. Oh well. I'm not getting one of those little tiny tags and putting it in here because our children are just gonna rip it out and we're gonna forget what it is anyway.
Or the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
They'll take everything. They'll probably take our cups, watch.
Yeah, they probably will, or it will keep them from pecking at it because they'll come and peck at this instead.
Hopefully.
Okay, we got all of our pumpkins planted. As you can see, they're very close together. And we do that. We've done it several times in the past. We're not going to save the seeds on any of these, so we're not going to worry about toxic squash and pumpkins. So, but they're going to have plenty of space to grow out. This is our orchard, and then there's another unused area over here that it doesn't matter if the pumpkins grow into that area. But I have these baskets as I'm talking with them in my hands. So these are just dollar store plastic baskets, and we're gonna put them over the top of our pumpkins to keep rabbits or our cats and dogs from getting into them. And, you know, pesky little rabbits or wildlife or whatever, because it is fenced in this area, but those rabbits can still get in here. So we'll do this for the meantime, and it should work. And that's it. That's us planting our pumpkin field, our first pumpkin field in slash garden for this property.
Yeah.
So we will have garden updates here in the future. We'll let you know if we have any issues, and then we'll also show you our success. And we also have a giant compost, just like one specific cell that has a bunch of pumpkins growing out of it too. So I like to do that, it's fun. And then just any random pumpkin pops up out of there. So
So we do.
Yeah, we like pumpkins. We like our winter squash. So
Yeah.
we eat them, the dogs eat it, and then the livestock eats it. It's a very good thing to have on your homestead.
It stores for a long time.
Yes.
So it's food way down the road, which is nice.
So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, definitely stay tuned. We'll have more to come. And if you have any tips or tricks in the comments, just remember we're lazy gardeners and we always break the rules. So,
Yes.
but you can definitely share any advice that you'd like to share in the comments below. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.